Hello there, welcome to another one of my skills and techniques Spiral Abyss guide videos. This time around Spiral Abyss is not as painful as it is back in 2.3 anymore. Thank God. However, this Spiral Abyss enemies has way too much HP for the norm, but I believe this is just miHoYo being lazy about Spiral Abyss nowadays. So anyways, without further ado, let's take a look at the enemy lineup first. This time around, I will separate between skills and technique part, and my Abyss run separately throughout this entire video. If you're only here for my Abyss run, skip to whatever timestamp is shown on the screen right now to watch it. And now let's get started. For the first chamber, we got ourselves some Legos. Yup, Perpetual Mechanical Array, short for PMA. PMA is just a single target boss fight without much strategy needed, because all you have to focus on is just the boss itself. After a certain period of time, PMA will go into panic mode and lay its egg on 4 sides. If you don't know which one to defeat, look for the glowy Lego. Once you defeat that Lego, the mainframe will become vulnerable again for you to attack. One side note is that if you ever get the Dorito Lego, stand on the opposite side of the mainframe. The reason you do this is because the Dorito will always do the retreat attack first. Therefore, we can manipulate that by forcing it retreat towards the mainframe so you don't have to get stuck and run towards the mainframe later on. It really does help us save a few seconds by doing this. Second half is featuring a new enemy from Incognito, Pyro Abysslector. Another annoying enemy if you ask me. You will see my team in second half later on that I have no healer, because who needs a healer when you have skills and techniques, am I right? The first wave will spawn 3 Geo puppies, which isn't really difficult to deal with anyway, so I'll just ignore that. After the puppy wave, 3 other enemies will spawn. I suggest you defeat the Dendro Samature first, because the burn damage from it is too much for anyone to handle. The rest of your priority goes to the Abysslector himself. You can leave the Pyro Abyss Mage alone and let it take collateral damage. It's just not worth it unless you're using Chow to proc Riptide, which is a really tall order for anyone to pull off because you gotta have 2 eyes on your enemies. Other than using Hydro Element, you can bring Electro as well to break the Abysslector shield even faster. This has something to do with elemental gauge theory, but since I'm not a math guy, I cannot properly explain how this works. In the second chamber, we have a Primo Jovishap to defeat. This fight is rather straightforward. Remember to bring a shield character to counter its Primordial Shower for big damage. If you're still lacking damage even though you brought a shield character, there's another way to counter that. Let me tell you how. You know how almost everyone has a Bennett? Which almost 100% of the Genshi community will have him in the party to attempt Spiral Abyss. His burst provides heal and damage buff to all teammates standing in it. His burst also applies Pyro to whoever is in the Bennett circle. You can abuse that Pyro aura by letting yourself get hit by the Primo Jovishap to generate a crystallized shield to counter the Primordial Shower. Big damage. For the second half, there's really no techniques to fight these Abyss Heralds. If you can manipulate their AI to group themselves together, that would be the ideal situation for you to deal damage. But their movement pattern is way too inconsistent for me to put up a guide for you, so just fight them in a corner or something. When their shield is up, use Cryo attack to break them, which is the most efficient way to do so. On to the last chamber. There will be 2 Ruin Guards on each side of you. It will be best if you can bring characters with AoE damage. Start it off with either one of them is fine, just needed to make sure you have enough damage. Second wave will have 2 Ruin Graders spawn on the same spot, but a little further away. You can stand a bit towards in the middle to bait the farther Ruin Grader to do a charge attack towards you, so you can damage them both together. Now there's just a Magu Kenki left in your way of getting 9 stars for floor 12. Once again, before he is able to take damage, take this time to recharge your party energy. Other than that, there's really no tricks to fighting this boss. One last thing I have to mention, this Abyss cycle is by far the hardest Abyss to one cycle through it, because you have to bring the correct element to break shields, unless you have whale damage due to the enemy's bloated HP pool. Well, that's all the skills and techniques I'll be showing you guys. If you guys have a more efficient and no-brainer tactics, please let me know down in the comments and we can learn from each other. One final thing, to those watching this video by the time of upload, Happy Chinese New Year to whoever celebrating it and have a nice day. Anyways, that's all from me, and as usual, character builds will be shown at the end of the video. The rest of the video will play out my Abyss run in one cycle. Enjoy the show!
見切りました全力攻撃だ師匠の技を食らいなさい股間奥義ここより弱滅の時やって
天道ここにある。難攻不落。隙あり隙あり。いや隙あり。
諦め肉力増進。夜の権限。やパーディクト。
難攻不落。天理チョーク。
許さない。姿を見せよオーズ。
天道ここにあり。難攻不落。
諦めて。
夜の源終焉の
旗よここに肉力増進。パーディクト。
アビスの潮なり。隙あり。いや隙あり。隙あり。いや天理チョーク。
諦めて。やりよ霊に応えよ。 きらめき